All right, all right, all right. I am back to do this live, man. This live has been put off so many times. So I put it off last night, ended up passing out, woke up way too late. So I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. Then this morning, while because I get in early, I was like, let me go live on it now. And so while live doing the live, because I do it from the phone, and sometimes the audio is scrambled, it didn't come out clear. So let me get in here on this clown who knows he's going to hell, the Antichrist. Because guess what? Lord up in heaven ain't about to kick it with no goddamn devil. So God told Donald Trump, you can't come up in here in this ride, you effing clown. You gets no play up in this heavenly ride, chump. So with Donald Trump receiving the message directly from God, he knows exactly where his place will be. And that is in hell, burning in a dirty, dirt-filled, shit-stained, and piss-covered box because I'm a piss on it. So that's why I be covered in piss. That I go to the graveside and piss on that shit. So that's what Trump expressed it from this question asked by the reporter that stands in front of him. And I will play the video for those who haven't heard it and making it like, oh, Reggie making that shit up. And then they be like, oh, it's AI. No, it's actually on the White House YouTube channel as well. So people, because I always kind of vet through certain videos because so much AI crap is coming through the channels and stuff. So I vet a lot of stuff. I look at videos. AI has gotten to where some people can hardly decipher whether things are real or if they're fake. So you got to do that. But this video here from Donald Trump stating that it's almost going to be impossible for him to get to heaven. He's a so-called Christian, which we all know that's a damn lie. The paternity test from God proved that him being a Christian is a total lie. And that's why he's getting sent down to hell. Oh yeah. Also, after this live, in about an hour from now, we'll be on the backup channel. I'm gonna title that channel "Music with Reggie Owens." We'll be doing a live music show. We'll be going over D'Angelo, so we'll be doing music tribute to D'Angelo. That's back. That's going to be the new channel for where we do music as well. But getting back into this clown up in the White House and this Antichrist. So this Antichrist on his trip heading to Israel to meet up with another Antichrist, and that being no other than that scumbag Benjamin Netanyahu. So he's up there flying over to Israel to meet with the other Antichrist, and that being no other than Benjamin Netanyahu, a guy who is a demonic demon as well, who is an incompetent fool. And his incompetence is expressed by the fact that Donald Trump is going over as they think they're going to, pump their fists and act as if they achieve some level of peace. But for the fact that it took all this time for the bombs to stop, and there's really nothing else to bomb. This food really annihilated the whole goddamn location of where these people are from in the Gaza Strip. Everything's gone. So the bombs are a waste. So it'll just be them shooting bombs at the ground. So it makes no sense to continue on the world with this conflict. So the only thing is to come about peace. And for the fact that this has been, 3 years of this crap, 2 years of this crap, and the fact that the response to the capture of these Israeli citizens who are on land that they should not have been in, the fact that they're over here disrespecting Palestinians and land that they have just occupied, settled in, and as they continue to expand their immigration expansion on Palestinian land, and just taunting these people, the arrogance that Israelis have amongst these people is just so un-Christ-like. So much anti-Christ shit over in that land with newly arrived immigrants upon that land. And so as the overthrow of these people's homeland, it's been reversed into newly arrived people calling it their homeland and shit. We have to where this response of bombing, shooting, killing women and children who are innocent in this ordeal is the fact that in order for so the reason behind Netanyahu deciding to take this military response to this shit, and it's probably all in agitation for him to a precursor for him to launch into war and to try to rid this location of this Hamas group, and it done nothing. The fact that Hamas has been able to still imprison those people and to hold the remains of those who are dead, and Netanyahu and his forces have not been able to capture the people who held these people captive, that a deal has to be brokered between Qatar, which was a nation that Israel even bombed, and then with Hamas, and then now these people get turned over when Hamas tell you they're going to turn them over, and then the bomb stops. That is a complete and utter failure and poor decision making by Benjamin Netanyahu, and also by the American government. That goes from the Biden administration, and as well as this idiotic fool named Trump, who's pumping his fist as if he accomplished anything. There's been nothing accomplished at all in this whole ordeal. Just a waste of time, waste of weaponry, waste of America sending weapons over there. Why Donald Trump wants to pull away sending weapons over to Ukraine because he fears Putin, but he believes in sending shit to the scumbag Benjamin Netanyahu. And the fact that those weapons have been sent over to Benjamin Netanyahu, and he was unable to achieve his goal. And that was the dismantling of Hamas. That now they have to beg Hamas to turn over their captives and multiple hostages that are dead. And Hamas has had to, I guess, preserve the bodies of these people. Like, come on, it's utter failure. And so this is why Donald Trump's speaking on that. Donald Trump knows he is heading down a highway to hell. He just is at a point to where he just doesn't give a damn anymore, because the writing is on the wall, and they always write with Reggie Owens type fashion. God damn it, deuce time, my Trump loving cuzzo. Salute to you, man. Love my cuzzo, man. But I wish he wake up and stop drinking that motherfucking Kool-Aid. Mark Summers, let's see his tone on Donald Trump. McDonald Trump says going straight to hell. Look, even Mark Summers done flipped the script on Donald Trump. Do you wear a dress? Is you that little bimbo blonde head broad, Marjorie Taylor Greene? But let's go into Donald Trump. And so people don't think I'm just making this up about Donald Trump knows exactly where he's going, and that is to HELL.
November 1st is an eternity for me. So there's for somebody else's.
Hey, look, you see the joke, and November 1st is the eternity to him? Let's continue on.
Eternity. November 1st is an eternity for me. So there's for somebody else is right around the corner. For me, when I hear November 1st, it's an eternity. Go ahead.
You had talked a couple weeks ago, you were doing an interview, and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven, okay? I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven. But I've made life a lot better for a lot of people. And, as an example, had the election of 2020 not been rigged, you would have millions of people living just in Russia, Ukraine alone. That would have never happened. And it didn't happen for 4 years. And I knew Putin very well. It was the apple of his eye. All the things I've said would have never happened. We had it.
He know he a bitch too. He was an apple of Putin's eye. Y'all president talk like a straight up hoe. Now I seen Mex, who was also a damn new arrival. He descends from new arrival or immigrant bloodline, but he posted a thing on Instagram today where it was created by a Trump supporter. Trump lovers are turning on Trump. And then this AI video is Trump kneeling down like how a lot of y'all want to do for Donald Trump. But it's Donald Trump beating y'all to the punch, but he's doing on Netanyahu, where he walks in front of Netanyahu, pulls his pants down, and drops to his knees. And y'all know what the video is supposed to project him doing. It's what some of y'all want to do, walk on your knees. If Donald Trump pants fell down, y'all be quicker than the city girls running towards his nut sacks on y'all damn knees. Tex G says, Coach Tom's in the building. He says, imagine turning 45, says, and just growing a mustache. Laugh out loud. Who just growing a mustache? Then the Deuce Time Ma Rob, what's up, folks? And then Velasquez says drug thugs, women wine, says 3 or 4 at a time. Oh, the devil's pie, right? Says watch them all stand in line for a slice of the devil's pie. Yes, indeed. We going right to the backup channel to do a tribute to D'Angelo. Let me go ahead and I got the live already set up. Let me change the name of that channel because I want to keep it as always right with Reggie Owens. That's the name of the channel because I just love taunting motherfuckers when I'm always right about shit. Because I express or highlight knowledge, not even knowledge, just being intelligent about shit. Being forth thinking, man. Always analyzing shit. Unlike a lot of people who just buying the drinking bullshit. And then let me see. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second as I pause and continuing on with this kick of Donald Trump, who is bound for hell. And I'm glad that he recognizes where he's going and that hopefully he's preparing for it. He's preparing to go down to hell where he belongs. Let me see. Handle. Let me go. Let me change this to music with Reggie Owens. Yeah. And let me see. This says handle. Boom, boom, boom. Change that. Let me see. The handle. www.youtube. Now I got to change it from always right. I got to change it to music as well. So let me change the handle to music. Music with. There we go. And make sure it ain't linked to no other damn channel. All right, let me see. All right, I'll see how that work out later. Yeah. All right, so back to this little hoe ass president. So video played, and I want to see how angry I make the damn Trump lovers. But also, man, I was thinking about this stuff. When you look at these anti-Christ ass leaders of the world, being Trump, Netanyahu, there's this thing that also bugs me when you see how some people think that they are just supposed to be the dominant force over others and thinking as if people should not respond to you, because all that situation that Netanyahu and the arrogance of the Israelis had led to the death of these people who were held hostage that they wait to be returned to them, because bombs and missiles and bullets didn't achieve this so-called success that Netanyahu and thought they will be able to achieve. It's being kind of the military might over there, and they have failed miserably. That it takes diplomacy from a fellow Arab nation to achieve this shit and then have these people return. But I don't know how the damn Palestinians would trust them. And then once these people are returned, now what happens after that? Does Netanyahu exact his revenge and they begin to cry of seeing the deceased people from that damn parade or that party that they were having and disrespect towards these people? And then use that as an igniting force to launch a new war, the second phase of a war, third phase of it, probably his 20th phase of it. But so going into this about how people just undermine and overlook, and this is common thing, this common thread amongst people of the world, especially when they're retaliated against. When they come from the antagonizing nation, which tends to be the powerful nations, and then when they're retaliated against, people begin to play victim and shit. And it's no different than when I listen to, because I watch all this 9/11 shit all the time. I love watching 9/11 interviews, other 9/11 documentaries, video clips of the events. But in the videos I watch when it's dealing with recovery, and they talk to people who worked in the cleanup of 9/11, from the firefighters who are looking for fellow brothers who lost their lives and trying to rescue people while the towers are still burning, to other people who worked as iron workers that, remove steel and all that. And this common thing amongst hearing them is the way they highlight all these cowards that just came over here and did this cowardice act and just responding to this innocent nation. Like, damn, motherfuckers, have y'all overlooked the reason why maybe these people came over here doing that shit? This was no response from a military. This is a response from people that say, we're not going to just sit back here because from a military standpoint, we are weaker people than this nation that has built itself upon, occupying, dominating, slaughtering, and killing motherfuckers, that we ain't gonna just sit back there and take that shit. We'll use your advances in technology and use it against you in ways that you weren't prepared for. And as simple as that. But it wasn't just these people just boarded planes and got on it because this is fucking America. America has been dabbling over, fucking around over with them people. The same thing with Israel. The fact of what we see in America is some of the results of what happens after the Second World War, the so-called the last great war that these idiots term as shit. From this shit that takes place in Israel, that's a residual of World War II, to this shit that takes place over here, to the things of our involvement within the Middle East is a residual of World War II as well. And then we look at what is a residual of World War II, bringing all these fucking fellow evil ass people from over there in Europe and allowing them to come into this country and exact that same kind of racial doctrines that they had against other people over there, who now we find them places in the new homeland. Like, stop acting as if there's, like, you don't know how to fucking dive through the information and see why other people go about carrying out these ill retaliatory acts. And then you get 3,000 people lose their lives behind what the sick nature of this damn nation of going into places, bombing people, killing people, stealing resources and shit, and expecting them just bow down. Like, get the fuck out of here. So I'm listening to them firefighters and say that shit. I understand where they're coming from, but it's at some point, knowledge must be applied into understanding why these actions were taken, why these actions for 9/11 take place. They ain't just take place out of thin fucking air. Like, that shit has been mounting for fucking some decades and shit. Like, and it's unfortunate that people had to lose their lives in that fucked up manner. But that is the thing that occurs when you have wealthy people who don't give two fucks about the rest of mankind. It's all about filling their pockets and the evils that they do to people. That shit shoots to the back of their mind. They can give two damns about the suffering of the other people, but they'll cry and go into paranoia and fear when the response is enacted back upon them. And that's all that fucking 9/11 was, is a response. It ain't nobody, they hate freedom and all this dumb shit. You hear these political bozos who initiate this shit regurgitate out their damn mouths to feed off to a bunch of sheep ass people in society who buy and regurgitate that shit. Just like Bush and them can spew this fear of Al Qaeda, all this shit throughout American society to keep people in fear. And just like Chris Rock said, I ain't afraid of no goddamn Al Qaeda. I'm afraid of Al Cracker. Like, these motherfuckers is just delusional with the shit they spend out here. Deuce Time says, since I told y'all cats that Washington are the pigeons, says are all that. Says aren't. Oh, he says aren't all that. I think the Eagles can turn shit around. I think they can turn things around. We'll see if they lose one more game. Then they may need to panic. TB in the building, salute. And if Vlasica says peace after destroying 90% of Palestine, says get the fuck out of here, facts. Now they want to talk peace. They done destroyed 90, probably even more than that, 99% of this shit. And didn't achieve anything, didn't rescue none of these damn people. And now you come to a ceasefire because it's a failed mission. And I'm thinking, like, damn, how is Hamas still holding these people captive? Where are they hiding at? How is this war taking place? That's what I'm lost on. And then TB says, RIP to D'Angelo. Yes, indeed, we're gonna do that live stream. And the Deuce Time says, I don't know if I'm subscribed to that one. Yeah, I just made the name change to Music with Reggie Owens. I think it should pop up that way. Let me try that out. But it was called Always Right with Reggie Owens is what I had it as. But I wasn't really loading content. I got some videos on there that I'll do to upload shit. Let me see. Let me check it out. Let me see if I can find it. Music with, yeah, let's do that. And then we can do West Coast Wednesday tomorrow. I mean, I've been having some West Coast music. Let me see. Damn, how do I get that to pop up? Oh, I got it. Oh, here we go. Yep, it popped up. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah, I found it. Let me see. D'Angelo. Let me see. You put it in the community setting. D'Angelo tribute. There we go. It's in my community posting. And then Mark Summers says, "Oh, he's right. It's false advertising, man. That's all. That's the truth. You calling it false advertising is fake news." TV says for sure. Let's tribute the catalog of D'Angelo. I just wish D'Angelo had more music, man. If he didn't dive off into them drugs, man, this dude would just have masterpiece after masterpiece. I didn't get into his latest one. That was well received by like white folks as well. And then Mark Summers says, "Make it always music." And then Deuce says, "Always reaching," says, "with Wedgie." This fool be hated. That's why I like saying that always right shit, because I know it make motherfuckers mad. And then y'all may believe that I have that type of arrogance. I don't have arrogance and I don't have an ego. And that's what makes it so funny to me. And then because it pisses y'all off. Because when we have debates, when I debate with y'all, I be right on all this shit. And that's because a lot of you niggas don't think. Y'all love following other people without processing shit. Velocity Cuss says, "Have to throw that belly soundtrack," says, "Have to throw that belly soundtrack," says, "early in the in honor of the homie." Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Because I was tripping because we was doing D'Angelo music the first time we started doing the R&B lives, and ain't heard from that fool in a long ass time. He was sitting back there suffering. Velocity Cuss says, "Facts." Says that shit backfired. Says that Facts. Says that shit backfired on the Zios. Says big time. Says justice for all those kids. Absolutely. Absolutely. Netanyahu was a hoe for that shit. You didn't achieve a goddamn thing bombing them people. Same thing with Putin. You ain't achieve a goddamn thing bombing and invading that damn country. Velocity Cuss says, and no different in America, responding after 9/11. You ain't achieve a goddamn thing. You ain't killed them leaders and this and that and still maintain going that war. That war, they didn't give a fuck about the deaths of the American people in them towers. The people who died at the Pentagon, the people who died in that field in Pennsylvania. Bush shouldn't even give two fucks about them. Bush used that shit and saw dollar signs. And then went into these nations, which are, rich in resources, rich in natural resources that they found profitable for them. And for them to accumulate a level of wealth. And to send a bunch of poor people who enlist in this motherfucking military. And that's simply it. Like, it's a lot of scumbaggery shit. The people responsible for that shit, they died, and you got other people a part of that network that you go through these goddamn investigative networks that we have, the FBI, CIA, to do its intelligence, to find the fucking actors that are responsible for that shit, and you go from there. And if it was about Osama bin Laden, you go after, you do the intel, track him down, hunt him down. And waste all these goddamn, that war lasted 20 fucking years that America went into and didn't achieve a goddamn thing. Just brought a bunch of young people who started over there back fucked up. Like, I'm telling you, man, it's the ignorance of just allowing wealthy people. And it's about the way we vote, homie. That's what leads America down this road. The ignorance of so many poor people who put their faith in these fucking phony ass billionaires. Like, you motherfuckers is crazy, homie. And the Velocity Cuss says Israeli women get a check when she gives birth. Says, and the baby gets an allowance every month. Says till 18. Says, where do you think that money comes from? Where do you think it come from? Because I wonder what you're gonna say. He says they begin reparations from Germany and the USA for decades. Says, how you think they're able to stay ahead and build wealth? Yeah, I think that money was taken out of Germany as far as reparations for them, but they don't need reparation. They got a land. They have a land that doesn't belong to them, and that's the ill wicked shit. And had this country and the leaders of that time had any kind of sense and morality and gave a fuck and lived by these so-called Christian views, they would have created a safe place for them in Germany, not in Palestine. And then with them doing that is what leads to the situation that we have here now. And we got a little antichrist motherfucking Netanyahu, who ain't Jewish. I don't know what the fuck he is, or any of them type people are. Dusan says, since on one hand, you say the Afghans just acted on their own, and then you say Bush was just about money. What do you don't get about that, Deuce? What do you don't get about that? They did act on their own. Their nations have been invaded by Bush's father, taking oil, doing all type of shit to them people over there. It wasn't just like they went in there, went to oil fields, and people didn't fucking die. You've killed people's fathers. You've also killed their mothers. You also killed children and bombing these people. Like, these people don't just forget that shit. And then these people come in here, go under the radar, smile, live normal lives while all fucking planning. And then the thing is, when Bush want to respond to that shit and then try to get the American public behind it, but in his eyes, to justifying this war and probably want to respond to look tough, because America sometimes becomes war hawking when you allow all this cowboy shit to filter through American society. Then they rock, well, yeah, we need to go to war, we need to get them. That's why when you watch some of them 9/11 videos, right after that shit, you get some of them old drunk, stupid ass punks who ain't gonna serve one day in the damn military. We're gonna go back over there, we're gonna get them, we're gonna get the terrorists, and we're gonna do all this and that shit. They ain't gonna serve a day in that motherfucker. And when people like Bush, who are nothing but pocket filling capitalist motherfuckers, they view that shit and say, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll go right in the war. What they got in that damn land? They got poppy seed and heroin. We'll go in there and get some of that. We'll go in there and get some of that oil. We'll go in there and get some of the whatever kind of ore and other shit they got in that dirt. We'll go over and get some of that. We'll also go into Iraq. We'll launch 2 wars at the same time. I'm from the oil industry. We need some of that. We need old Halliburton up in there. So now we send in the goddamn private enterprises where we supposed to be fighting a fucking war in response to our towers being gone. They get 2 fucks about that shit. Like, motherfuckers is full of fucking shit. But that ain't me saying it was some inside job shit. And the Vlasica says, look it up. Says it comes from our American tax dollars. Says it's welfare. Shaking my head. See, I don't believe that, Vlasica. Put the link in the chat because I'll research it from that standpoint. I don't want to be driven too far off, and I'm on this live too long. Drop the link in there. I'll click on that link. And then Matt S. says my cousin's husband says work for the FBI. Says and he told me that they had found Bin Laden 3 years before killing him. Says and they told them not to take him out. See, I don't know if that's true, if your cousin really telling the truth on that, but it could be possible. But then again, the problem with those agencies back in the day is that, and this is probably still an issue, they don't communicate information. One hand don't know what the other hand does. And that's the thing where people go about the bureaucracy that exists within dealing with the government. Is communication is poor. It's hard to get anything completed. You gotta go through all these political channels to get shit done. Politicians telling motherfucking people with military training and experiences how to conduct their operations, how to fight wars. No different than fucking, and that's who this Hegseth motherfucker act like. He act no different than McCarthy. They act no different. That's when wars start getting fucked up. When you start getting these wannabe tough guys and be seen. Oh, and that's exactly, man, let me pull this fool picture up. Hegseth try to act just like that piece of shit, McCarthy. Hey, pull this shit up. He tried to do his hair like this motherfucker. That shit he pulled with them generals recently on some hoe ass shit. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Let me see. McCarthy. That nigga go by McCarthy. I don't even know his fucking actual first name. What is Joseph McCarthy? I think it is. Hold on. Yeah, there he is. It is Joseph. Damn, I guessed the first name and got it right. Here you go. Look, this who Hegseth be trying to look and act like. All right, let me see. No. I'm tripping. Not McCarthy. McNamara is who I'm talking about. I'm talking about McNamara. I don't even know how to spell that full name. McNamara. Let me see. I don't know. Not Joseph McCartney, but this McNamara fool. Robert McNamara. That's who was over the damn war. Oh, where is this fool at? Even McCarthy. McCarthy is a piece of shit too. So this is that fool. These fools who changed the whole approach to how things run. These fools want to be, the big shot, big shit. Don't listen to nobody. That's what I'm talking about. McNamara and McCarthy, minus the glasses, be trying to act and look like this fool. Want to be old tough ass dude, war hawk ass punk. Trying to be like McNamara and McCarthy at the same end one. He wants us to be them embodied as one. That's who that fool be trying to act like. And this is where things just go wrong. I don't even understand how military people we want to continue on with their careers when they're dealing with fools like these dudes. Like, how do you go on? Let me see. Did McNamara die? His whole ass is dead. But yeah, this is the fool who I say he tries to be like this chump right here from out the Vietnam era of shit. But let me see what we got. But yeah, but back to that shit. Like I say, them fools, them agencies didn't communicate with each other. It's no different than how shit works in the medical field. One doctor don't talk to the other one. They don't share information. You get all this shit blocking shit, interfering with anything being completed. Velocity says, you see goofy ass Stephen A. Smith trying to clown Jasmine Crockett, says for Monkey Tuesday. No, I don't listen to nothing from Stephen A. Smith. I really don't watch a lot of these clown ass people, bro. Like, y'all be sending me shit on the Monkey Tuesday stuff and all that. I really don't watch these fools. I don't. If it ain't nothing on, then I might check some people's shit out. But like Stephen A. Smith will hold me. I don't watch his shit. Like, it'd be hard for me to watch whole ass people's shit. If it may be something I'm a clown on, then yeah, I may watch it. But I don't, man. The only whole ass motherfucker I watch who I'm gonna talk about is whole ass motherfucker Trump. But I don't even watch him like that. I want to see what moves he make and the disasters he's gonna create. And what Trump is gonna do is send this country so far backwards. And then the fact that you deal with the way that people vote, they're gonna keep this shit twisted in cycles and nothing ever gets accomplished. And then Madev says, SAA says it's a sellout. Says Stephen A. Smith is a sellout. Yeah, he's certified sellout. You're a whole ass dude. I can't dare watch him. A company man. He can't even keep shit funky. And he'll end up dying feeling like less than a man when he looks back on himself. But folks, let me end this one. Let me move the time back. I'm gonna start that at 9:30. I'm gonna do the D'Angelo tribute to 9:30. So that's in 20 minutes from now. So I'm out of here, folks. Peace. See y'all over there.